Is this a fight worth having?
We didn't pick the fight, Brett. Kamala Harris got on a jet at taxpayer expense and flew to Florida to lie about the African-American history standards that were developed.
Understood.
And why is this important, though?
One, you're asked about it a lot,
but
so
you
that's
can't,
what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it is important. Why? You can't bend the knee to the left's lies. When the left lies and creates these phony narratives, you've got to push back.
Said yesterday, why are we fighting this? This happened. We know it happened. We are the products of what happened. So what are you talking about? Who's lying? Mm-hmm. Well,
this video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Merch link is in the description section. Also, my wife has a brand new store. ShopFreedomUniversity.com. ShopFreedomUniversity.com. If you don't remember that, link will be in the description section. Go on there. She got the coldest merch in the game. To be honest, her store is doing better than mine. Anyway, link is in the description section for both of those stores. Like, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the subject at hand. I want to finish that clip of Whoopi Goldturd and the rest of the bobbling idiots on The View. And the only reason I'm playing is because it's really good entertainment. Roll clip 2 again. Let's start from the beginning because it kind of got cut off. So let's roll clip 2 again and let's listen to Whoopi Goldberg in The View.
Here comes the clip. Watch the clip.
Is this a fight worth having?
We didn't pick the fight, Brett. Kamala Harris got on a jet at taxpayer expense and flew to Florida to lie about the African-American history standards that were developed.
Understood.
And why is this important, though? One,
you're asked about it a lot,
but
so
you
that's
can't,
what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it is important. Why? You can't bend the knee to the left's lies. When the left lies and creates these phony narratives, you've got to push back.
You know, there's too many of us for you to pull that BS, sir. There's too many of us who actually, those are the lies that you've created. You know, there are special people from time to time that we talk about, who have done amazing things, came out of slavery, and were able to break a barrier. That wasn't 99% of folks, sir. There are enough black people in your state who could actually teach you what happened because their grandparents and the great-grandparents, they spread all these stories for us so we would know because y'all weren't writing them in the books. So let's not fool around with this because, as she said yesterday, Kamala Harris said yesterday, Vice President by the by, said yesterday, why are we fighting this? This happened. We know it happened. We are the products of what happened. So what are you talking about? Who's lying?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's kind of like, he doesn't want the black vote because he knows he's never going to get it. So, he says a lot of racist things. This is just one of them.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I think that, he's all about the anti-woke. Let's get the anti-woke.
The anti-woke
people
means, whatever black people are talking about, you shouldn't be listening to what happened. The history is the history. Right. The country is the country, and we know what happened.
By the way, Booker T. Washington, one of the great African Americans in history, he was freed at age 9. Mm-hmm. And he worked in mines and as a houseboy before he went to school and he became the great educator that he was. So what did he learn in the mines, I'd like to know? And what did he learn as a houseboy? I'm not sure what they're talking about. What skills are they talking about that you develop in a system like slavery, which was oppressive? The women were raped. The men were tortured. The families were separated from each other. They took your children away from you. What do you learn from that? There is nothing to learn from that except that it's bad.
It also ignores what these same men and women could have accomplished.
It's kind of comical how stupid these women are. It's kind of comical. Like, what are y'all even talking about? You think that Ron DeSantis is trying to remove slavery from the textbooks? Like, I don't understand how stupid you got to be to think that, to conjure up this idea that somehow Ron DeSantis is trying to hide slavery from American history. Like, slavery in America is not unique. I understand that there was no such thing as slavery. And white people who came to America created this thing called slavery. and they enslaved black people, and nobody else in the world did it. It was not commonplace. This was something that only Americans did. And they hurt black people, and black people are suffering from slavery today, meaning that black people are worse off in America than they would be in any other country in the world. Is that what y'all saying? The reality is they're trying to teach history fairly and properly, because the 1619 Project is bullcrap. Thinking that only black people built this country is bullcrap. Black people had a part in building this country. There's a whole bunch of other people who were involved in that. Native people had involvement. White people had involvement. White people who migrated here had involvement. Africans who were here had involvement. The Africans who were slaves had involvement. All of us together helped build this country. And you have to admit, and they always leave this part out of slavery. It's like, who do you think freed the slaves? White people, not Africans. Africans didn't come here to liberate black people in America. They didn't care about you. They sold us over here. They didn't care what happened to you after they got their goods for service. They sold y'all over here. Peasants, get on the boat, stack them up in piles, knowing that majority of them will die before they get over to the Americas. They could not care less. They didn't come check on us. They didn't wage war in America. They didn't come over here to invade. They made their money. They didn't mind selling their own people. They worse than the American. They are worse than the white people that were here, because they sold their own people into slavery. But see, I'm under the impression that God can turn your mess into success. Slavery, although was bad at the time, yielded a net positive for black people historically, because the inventions, the ability for black people to flourish, it ain't happening in other places. Maybe here and there, but the influx of successful black people came right here in the United States of America. And I don't understand why people like Whoopi and them won't just pick up a book or like listen to the alternative point of view so that they don't sound completely stupid. But right now they sound absolutely stupid.